Net ranking, we'll get to that, but they have really been blowing some teams out as well.
And we're looking at the Carolina lineups. Nothing has changed for them all season, 12-0, and it's remained the same. Melissa Usby, as you mentioned, tied at the top for double-doubles in the ACC, so that's another player, as you're seeing, that's still at the top of the key. From Usby, right on cue, getting started early.
Wow. Well, and it's a tough thing, too, because we know Washington and Lewis, Clemson's two leading scorers, were in the protocol as North Carolina's just pushing the pace. Clemson has to find a way to get back in transition. Minutes restriction tonight because they're not starting, but we'll see what happens with Clemson's two leading scorers.
It was a huge one that she was out, as well as Delicia Washington, so we're still going to keep our eye out for Washington as she comes in as well. And from the outside, another three is drained. And Carolina right now, the 12-0 start, 5 NCAA appearances. And she's looking to get this team back to 500 with a win here at Carmichael Arena. And that's what you want to see, Kelly, right out of the timeout, a bucket by Washington.
She is a walking bucket, and we know how much Clemson needs her. She's a sixth-year player, so she's played a lot of college basketball.
This one was a three by Deja Kelly. You mentioned the ball movement earlier.
Yep, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Clemson has to know who they need to box.
And that's a tough task. So many different players on the outside, but a big-time shot from the outside. Clemson drains the three. She had her first start last season, and she's just been one of those freshmen that started in 25 games last year as well, but seeing what she can do in this season. Rough start. UNC started 12-0 in the passing lane.
Destiny Adams almost tripping herself in the floor there, Angel. That's something in this social media age, you can't recover from that. So I'm happy for Destiny Adams that she found a way to maintain her footing. They're still very efficient in the half court. They still, as we've talked about, their ball movement and their balance scoring-wise. But if you let them get out in transition right there, Deja Kelly going baseline, finding Hodgson.
Preseason, they were picked to be 7th. And that was a conversation with Coach Banghart, too. She mentioned even talking to Debbie.
Shorter shot clock for Clemson as it only reset to 20. How about Veronica Hipp, though?
Coach Amanda Butler was also mentioning how they have to win games, and it's from the three-point line. Deja Kelly trying to see if she can get something underneath, and that's a block for Clemson. Well, for Clemson, they lead the ACC as far as offensive rebounds, so that's something if they can create more opportunities for themselves, that's ideal, as Deja Kelly drains it from her sweet spot on the floor.
Attack the glass.
Kiana Gaines had 4 points against NC State. She has a lethal pull-up jumper, quick in transition as well.
And Clemson's still in that zone. You can hear, at least we can hear through our Zoom feed, because we're not there, but you can hear Coach Butler yelling out calls the entire defensive possession. Good job by Anya Poole keeping that possession alive. And Clemson just getting lost. That's the risk when you get an offensive rebound. And they found Hodgson for a good look.
That's her second three on the night. Another turnover for Clemson. And another bucket for Kennedy Todd-Williams. How she continues to make an impact. You're seeing the full court pressure from Clemson as well. And Carolina makes them pay.
Every single one of their 1 through 4 players can handle the ball. Todd-Williams right now is playing the 4, and she's running the point. That's just crazy with their versatility. So they're very, very difficult to press.
So early foul trouble for her. We'll see probably limited minutes for her in the second half. 7 seconds left as Washington's trying to free herself up, and does for the 2. Backdoor by Washington, and that's a beautiful play. Seeing if they can get something late in the shot clock. Going to the bucket. A lot of interior passing. 7 on the shot clock. Deja Kelly, one of those players you can't leave open outside. Not just from scoring, but distributing as well, Kelly, has been pretty impressive.
She's been very consistent. And Clemson going right inside early to Inyang. I'd like to see them try to go to her more often offensively, but you're right, Angel. Deja Kelly, the word is consistent, the way she's played all season. And consistency for UNC as well.
To start the second half, but it's been collectively, the balance that we've seen from the Tar Heels has been the thing that kind of sets itself apart at this point.
Ball needs to be in Kiki Lewis's hands as much as possible. Let her either score or facilitate.
And we've talked throughout the broadcast about how Clemson is trying to integrate them back into the game, as well as Deja Kelly.
It's going to go down, I'll just put it that way. Thursday night, every Thursday for the rest of January and February. Sorry, America. So
I love it.
You guys tune in every Thursday night.
I have on my DVR as we speak. We appreciate it. As Washington comes down with the rebound and the putback. So now that they can actually get back together, you've seen a lot of these players make the jump for Deja Kelly. What part of her game has she impressed you with the most as she steps in for another 2 from mid-range?
Continues to score well. We've talked about how she's been in double figures in every single game this season as Clemson gets a much-needed 3 from Maddie Ott. Her turnover numbers are so much better this season. So you've seen that jump with Kelly, also with Usby, and I think as well, Deja Kelly just continues, just going to keep making shots. You've seen that jump too for UNC with Kennedy Todd-Williams in that jump from freshman to sophomore.
Talked about the dog mentality and how they have the motor and how they're just well made. So we'll see if they can continue this as the night goes on. Big time bucket for Clemson on the inside as Washington continue to see if she can get this team going. She said there's nothing like game experience for this younger group.
You know, Angel, it's absolutely different. Practice experience and being able to score in practice and make shots in practice versus making them in a game. Stay out there defensively and knock down threes, spread the floor. That's a good sign for the Tigers that they can take that and build on that.
Well, let's talk about just how they continue to build on that as Washington knocks down another bucket.
That game that Clemson won in Chapel Hill that I was a freshman in, that game gave me a lot of confidence just because I saw the ball go in a game time situation. So you're seeing that with a player like Ott. And
spins, dishes it off to Inyang. Gets her own rebound and rolls around quite a bit. And finally, the N1 is actually going to fall.
6 in the top 25, which is really impressive. And 3 in the top 5 with NC State, UNC, and Louisville. And we talked about UNC, that strength of schedule.
So it's the little things that this team has been tested, even in that 12-0 set that they have. They've been challenged, and they continue to grow as Lewis knocks down the bucket. Did a little bit of damage against NC State in the previous game. If she can get going, that would be crucial for Clemson. It must be said, too, one of the players that you were wanting to see a lot from coming into this game was Gabby Elliott, who was the second leading scorer from last year. So as we continue to see if Kelly can get her mic worked on, perfect season before they hit the road.
Angel, I believe I am back.
Oh, wow. Well, welcome.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. You are a champion.
You mentioned a top 10 as far as UNC ranking with a plus 33 margin of victory and how they've been able to get things done. It's a big one that they've got right now. It was trying to thread the needle underneath and does in Yang.
Yeah, these two teams are pretty similar in that they want to play 4 guards or at least play a versatile player at that 4 spot and then go inside to Elisa Kune.
And North Carolina has been pretty dominant the entire time. And Deja Kelly, as we mentioned, with the 30-point game finishes, and North Carolina remains perfect.